Who benefits from the vilification of our communities, the desecration of our identity, the insult to our collective strength? We are undermining our integrity and collective conscience, and the consequences will be unfathomable. This is Mission Undercover. Nigel Farage continues to peddle lies and conspiracies. It is important to take them in turn. One consistent myth that is reinforced and pressed is that asylum seekers live in luxurious hotel accommodation. In fact, these so-called luxury hotels become shadows of their former selves when converted to asylum accommodation, with multiple people crowded and packed into one room. They receive a paltry £49 per week, forcing them into desperation and destitution. No one wants to be condemned to the instability and humiliation of life as an asylum seeker, no home of your own, victims of racist abuse, not allowed to work or contribute to society, a life that is hollow and painful. But it is also mistaken to allow asylum seekers to work whilst their claims are processed. This would have the effect of drawing more people here, exacerbating accommodation and housing challenges, whilst also making employers reliant on migrant labour rather than investing in upskilling and improving workforce plans. Another often overlooked impact is that it predisposes asylum claims towards being accepted, no matter the reality of circumstances, due to the integration to society that work provides. Despite this, the myth of the far right that asylum seekers are swinging the lead and leeching the state is a vindictive perspective that expedites the interests of a vocal minority. These groups often reference the silent majority who are neglected, particularly on media channels like GB News, while simultaneously acting as a loud minority for extreme views and unpopular ideas which are lauded as a populist uprising by our national broadcaster. Our whole society has been captured by the lunacy of the reform surge. Media promotes and gleefully facilitates the rise of this fascist alternative. Racist provocators who raise flags as symbols of division and exclusion rather than celebration and unity. We are being hijacked by an engineered revolution that will surely have cataclysmic consequences. You see how they begin by saying that they will deport the asylum seekers. They do not specify protections for legitimate people. They do not care whether they ship people back to war zones and persecution. It is clear what the end goal is. The scale and revulsion-inducing rhetoric and Islamophobia that they utilize on obscene levels suggests only one outcome. They will not stop till every last Muslim, every last brown person, every last symbol of diversity and difference is hounded and marginalized to a point of no return. Right now, we can say it's them, but soon it'll be us, respected, normal British people, assaulted by the state for the colour of their skin or the religion that they follow. It is abhorrent what future they represent. They also claim, as a justification for their heinous policies and rhetoric, that ethnic minorities and asylum seekers are largely criminals, sex pests, a blight upon society. They use bleak generalizations to justify their goals. Yet what about brown skin? What about a religion that preaches peace as its greatest objective makes one a criminal by default? A religion that states that killing one man unjustly is like killing all of mankind. The state of public discourse is so far removed from reality that truth has become unassailably obscured by the interests of equivocators, hypocrites, racists, and narcissists. The reality is, no matter how many people you deport, no matter how much you preach a message of hate and division, no matter the amount of flags you raise in public areas, the underlying problems of our country will never be solved by Nigel Farage and Reform UK. That is the cold, hard truth. You also have to remember that these are the same people, the Daily Mail, the Telegraph, the Sun, who told you that Boris Johnson was a genius, Brexit was brilliant, and that Liz Truss was an economic genius. Nigel Farage said that the Liz Truss mini-budget was the best Conservative budget since 1986. Yes, he said this, and no one holds him to account for this. These people cannot be trusted. Their economic vision consists of vast spending cuts that will sink us into deeper disrepair than the disastrous policies of austerity. We need to invest in the right areas of our economy. We need to build a better future, not destroy what little we have left. Adding to this despotic delusion was another outrageous suggestion by the so-called Great Messiah of our country, Mr. Farage. On Thursday, the 3rd of July, 2025, you can look back through the archives. Farage proudly announced on Nick Ferrari at breakfast his intention to privatize the NHS. He is completely beholden to his billionaire backers. He will entrench inequality, thwart climate goals, and destroy the fabric of our society. He has no plan for the housing crisis, no plan for education. He will not stand in the way of the actions of a genocidal ethno-state. This is not the future we deserve. This is not the future the world deserves. This is not the future our people deserve. But we can fight back. We must throw our weight behind the Labour Party, the only meaningful alternative, the only meaningful vehicle for social change, and stop reform in its tracks. Only Labour can beat reform. Only Labour can take power, and it is only through Labour that we will achieve radical reform, no matter how disaffected we may become by them. In the highly likely scenario that we will have another Prime Minister leading Labour into 2029, this reality would be further reinforced. I do think that Bridget Phillipson is definitely one to watch. She's a force to be reckoned with and is a real option for combating the lies and the hatred of Nigel Farage. Finally, we must remember that we have to be the ones to light the fire, not the ones who watch the flames. We cannot be passive. We cannot stand back. Inaction is complicity, and everyone has their role to play.